Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast. So happy to be with you today. This is another podcast in which my brain is still responding to a thing that we said at the end of a podcast 2 podcast episodes ago when I was chatting with Katie Preston, and we left that podcast with the words that we are going out into the world and align with our truth. So last time, that caused me to look at our trauma responses, our unconscious trauma responses, and how we are unconsciously responding and creating from a place of not being conscious. And we know that in Spontaneous Brilliance Land, we are working to be conscious creators. And one of the things that I started thinking about when I was thinking about we're going out into the world to align with our truth is, how do we recognize our truth? What does that mean? What is our truth? And we've talked about aligning with our truth and aligning with our true selves and aligning with our soulful self and doing that through feeling. But I want to dive into that a little more deeply right now, because I talk to people every day, as I've mentioned, who are looking for coaching or mentorship in how to show up as their authentic self. And we spend lots of time kind of hiding or questioning or censoring or adapting our truth to fit what seems like it will fit in. When I talk to other people who are wanting to become coaches, they're wanting to figure out how to create a program or create a coaching process or a consulting process that will sell or that people will want, rather than looking at what is it that they are needing to offer. It's all about the offer. So when we're looking for that authentic self, how do we know that we are aligned with our authentic self, with our truth? When we are questioning, when we're censoring, when we're adapting, that's how we're not sharing our unique creative genius, our spontaneous thoughts, our brilliant treasures that we were birthed onto this planet with. This is the truth that I want to explore now. We are here now at a time when we have so much information coming at us all the time. Truth, in quotation marks, is more relative now than at any other time in our known history. We can find a truth to back up whatever truth we want to have be our truth. We can find external resources for whatever it is we want to think. If we're here now at this time on planet Earth, on the great stage of life, we are not here to be an audience for someone else's performance. We are here to play the lead in the story of our own creation. And that comes from our internal inspiration. That story that we are creating is ours to create. It's not ours to look around and search for somebody else's story that we want to reiterate, somebody else's story that we want to watch and then debate about. It's our story that is the important piece that we are here to create. So let me say that again. If we're here now in this time, in this place, on planet Earth, on the great stage of life, we are here to play the lead in the story of our own creation. And if that sounds like a lot of work, then that's what's keeping us on the couch. That's what's keeping us there eating Cheetos, is because we think of offering our view as a lot of work. If it has to fit in, if it has to be easily accepted, if it has to be a reiteration of something that already is there so that we're sure that people will like it, if it has to be homogenized down, or if it has to be fought for, that all feels like a lot of work. And remember, it's the perspective that it's work instead of play that is causing it to seem like not fun. And it is fun. Our souls came here to have a fun time experiencing and not experiencing watching somebody else create their story. Our truth comes from within. It does not come from without. You are not going to find your truth in someone else's stuff. You can find inspiration in someone else's stuff. You can find playful reinforcement. You can find camaraderie. You can find collaboration. You can find innovation and new ways to think. But that does not mean that that is the end all and be all of your truth. It doesn't stop with that inspiration. It continues into what you are turning it into as an offer. Remember that I've said to actors for years when they get all stressed out about the intensity of their performance or something that is not going right in their performance, I'll say, lighten up. There's a reason why we call this a play. Lighten up. Both the challenge and the fun can be true. Yes, of course it's challenging because we came here to learn and grow and evolve as we respond to our experiences. But that's where the fun is too. The fun is in the challenge. The fun is in embracing the obstacle. These two things are both true. It depends on which perspective you're focusing on, whether or not it's fun. They coexist, the fun and the challenge. There are a lot of questions out there these days as to what is true. When you look at the internet or you look at any screen, wherever it is, there are lots of people wanting to tell you what is true in this moment. And many of us look to ancient texts for fundamental truths. And we listen to people that have said it over and over and over again. And the same thing has been said over and over and over again. As you think, so shall it be, right? Your truth is your truth. It doesn't matter whether you are listening to Jesus or Buddha or Krishna or Muhammad or Neville Goddard or Abraham or Mary Morrissey or I'm just rattling off names right now, Wayne Dyer, anybody. It doesn't matter who you are listening to. Louise Hay, Deepak Chopra, everybody. I've talked about some recent teachers, some current teachers. I've mentioned ancient teachers, master teachers. Everybody is saying the same thing. Your truth is in you. So how do we know when we are in alignment with our truth? We can feel it. If you are calm, if you are playful, if you are finding the love, if you are embracing the obstacles, you can feel it. It's energizing. It's a happy place. When you are defensive, when you are frightened, that is not a so happy place. If we're feeling anger, if we're feeling resentment, what is that feeling telling me? Remember episode 35, for those of you that have heard episode 35 of this podcast. The podcast starts with the question, do we spend more time defining ourselves or explaining ourselves? We go on an exploration in that podcast of what it means to define ourselves, whether we're coming from curiosity and openness and courage to learn and grow and discover our way that we wish to show up as this character on the great stage of life. We are learning and growing through our experiences. We are defining ourselves. We are creating ourselves, and we are creating this story as we go. And when it feels right, when it feels true, that is when it's true. So how do I adjust so that I am in alignment with myself? How do we adjust in the moment? So first, I'm just going to give you, I think there are 5 or 6 thoughts about this. So let's just guess that there's going to be 6 of them. First, don't be so interested in getting your truth outside of you. As I said a moment ago, an actor's performance is artificial if it is dictated by the director or by some acting teacher outside of them. Any teacher or coach or wise one is there to help you understand how to lead yourself on the stage. An actor is making their own choices. That's where their brilliance comes from. It comes from their inspiration, their imagination. Remember that your imagination is the bridge to your soulful self. That is how you create. And actors need to be capable of discovering the character for themselves and then bringing whatever technique or skill that they have to bear on playing that character authentically. The skill and the technique they derived from their studies with their teacher, but the teachers are playing their own roles. When they play Hamlet, they're going to do Hamlet their way. They're not going to try to make the actor that they're directing or teaching play Hamlet their way. If they are, they're a bad teacher. They're a bad director. They're just trying to recreate their own past through another human. That's not realistic on the stage, and it's not realistic on the great stage of life. You do not need to perform here on the great stage of life in alignment with someone else's edict. You find the truth, the resonance of what they are telling you within you, and then you use the skills and the techniques that you've learned from them in order to develop your relationship with your own truth. The skills and the techniques that you get from your teacher, whatever teacher that is, are not meant to be only kept in a box and performed pristinely. They're meant to be utilized for you to go through your own discovery process, to find your truth and then play it truthfully. Okay, so second, check what the feeling that you're feeling, whether it's fear or whatever it is, check what the feeling that you're feeling is pushing you to seek. This answer, this knowledge, this understanding, this truth. Which feeling, which emotion is pushing that? And this is how you'll know whether it's your truth or not. Is it fear that is pushing you to find the answer or find the knowledge or find the understanding? Or is it fun that is prodding you to seek the answer, the knowledge, the understanding, the truth? Is it dread that is dragging you toward that seeking an answer, seeking knowledge, seeking the understanding? Or how does that, quote, truth that you are being told make you feel? Does it make you feel dread? Or does it make you feel a desire? Does it inspire you toward a desire? Is it your desire that is causing you to seek this answer, this truth? That's how you'll know whether it's you. Is it competition or curiosity that is pushing you toward it? Are you trying to be better than someone else, so you're looking for the way to do that? Or are you trying to be your best self? Are you curious about how you show up best in this moment, in this circumstance, in this practice, in your work, in your relationship, in your own health? Are you curious? Are you interested in how you create the best whatever it is that you're working toward? Are you afraid of not knowing it? Are you afraid of what is coming that you maybe think you don't understand? Or are you looking for the fun in what is coming? Are you inspired by the fun of possibility? There is information out there that will help you feel fear anytime you want to feel it. And there is information out there that'll help you feel fun anytime you want to feel it. So check yourself. Check what the feeling is that's pushing you to seek that answer. Is it dread? Or is it about a curiosity on how you can be the best you in this circumstance? Whatever it is that you are feeling, check to see what the base feeling is, and know that finding somebody else to tell you how to do it is not going to eliminate the fear. The only thing that will eliminate fear is when you come to a place where you can trust yourself. And that's what your truth is really about, is what do you trust within? And do you trust within? Can you find the love? Can you let love pull you to seek the answers? We're all about finding the love, right? As good players here on the great stage of life, we're all about finding the love. So it might sound all squishy that, that I'm saying find the love in this circumstance that will pull you toward the answers that you're seeking. It's just real. It's just the truth. There you go. That it's always all about love. I always say, there is no why. But I'm going to ask you, if love feels a little squishy to think, okay, can I really be motivated by love in every single moment? Why not? Rather than ask, why would I want to be motivated by love in every moment? Nobody says that. Why would I want to feel love in every moment? But they do say, oh, come on, we can't seriously think that we're going to feel love in every moment for everything. Well, why not? Why not? There isn't a good reason not to be okay with being in a loving space in every moment. We're not asking why. I'm not asking you to explore any whys that you have. And I'm just asking you to say, why not? Check to see if you're defending staying lost or locked and loaded with lots of anger and resentment. Check to see if that is where you're trying to stay rather than finding the love. So third thing is embrace the obstacles. If it's in your life, it is there for you. So when you are seeking your own truth, look at the circumstance in your life and see what it is teaching you. What is this here for? I know it's here because it's here, right? So what is the truth about what it is here to teach me? What am I trying to teach me? That is always the question, because your soulful self knows your truth. It is never out of alignment with source, with itself. It's all one thing. The only thing that gets out of alignment is our egoic perspective. In this time-space reality that we are in right now, that's what gets out of sync with our soulful selves, with our true truth. So embrace those obstacles. Let them be your inspiration. That is what they are there for. They are there to help you get closer to your essential truth and being able to practice it regardless of circumstance. And then fourth thing, behaving as if. Acting is behaving truthfully in imaginary circumstances. To the actor, that means behaving in alignment with what you know to be true about the character and about the given circumstances in that play. To you in life, it means behaving in alignment with what you love and then devoting your mental energy into creating the circumstances that you desire and then behaving in alignment with that. Resonating, acting, behaving in alignment with what you love, with what you truly desire. These are imaginary circumstances that we live in. This is a creation of our own mind. We are creating this. As we think, so shall it be. These are imaginary circumstances. These are moments that we are creating in a field of infinite possibility. Your imagination is your most powerful tool. Use it. Imagine what is true for you. Imagine what you love. Imagine it texturally and the sights, smells, feelings, everything about it. What do you want your production to look like? Imagine it, build it, create it. If you build it, it will come, right? In your mind. Acting is active. So once you have imagined it, once you have utilized your most powerful tool, then act on it. At the end of the day, it's about what you do with it, not just what you think. Remember the Jimmy Tripp thing? I don't care about what you feel. I care about what you do. Fifth thing, never, 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 say it with me, explain or complain. That's not truth. That's actually justification for not living in alignment with where you know you meant to be. Notice that I say you meant to be as opposed to you are meant to be, because I like to keep it in the place of being what you, your true self, your soulful self, meant to be doing here, not what some entity outside of you meant or means for you to do. You're it. You're where it starts and ends. So this is about your truth. So if you're explaining and you're complaining, that's justification for how it's different than what you want it to be, or how you're different from somebody else, or how you know that you need to be closer to how someone else sees it, or why why you get to behave out of alignment with what you know is the best way that you want to show up on the planet. When we are explaining, a lot of times we are actually just telling other people what we would normally be telling ourselves, right? In our quiet time inside our head, when that loop is just playing, it's us telling ourselves out loud that we don't have to do whatever we can really feel inside we want to do. It's explaining the difference between where you are and where you feel you want to be, or between your circumstance as you're observing it and what you wish it to be. Usually when we're explaining or complaining, especially when we're complaining, we're just describing what we see around us. We're describing what somebody else did. We're describing what isn't good enough in our circumstance. And that's just talking about this present moment. And by the time we're complaining about it, it's already happened. It's already done. It already exists. It's past. If your behavior and what you truly feel it should be or should have been, if you're looking at your past behavior, if that is something that you have to explain, the difference between your behavior and what you truly feel it should be, then shift the behavior. Take the same amount of time and effort that you would spend explaining or complaining and shift your behavior. Make an offer. Just accept it. Acknowledge that that thing exists. Now, what are you going to offer? It's yes and, not yes, let me tell you all the reasons why this thing exists that I just said yes to. It's not that. It's yes, and this is what I'm going to do. There are no excuses. There are no things that someone else has done that justifies you not being in alignment with you. So just don't even bother to try, right? Don't bother to try. If someone makes you angry, fine. You have a myriad of choices to choose from on how you are going to respond. Anything from buying them flowers to screaming at them. It is up to you. This is your play. You are the lead. What do you see as the character you are playing? Stay true to that. Don't allow it to be changed by the actions of others. Don't allow those others to make you rewrite your character into someone you were not born to play. You are determining you. Episode 35, you're defining yourself. You are 100% responsible for your choices. Response able. Explaining ourselves is blocking that is based in the past, in limiting beliefs, in the protective personality, defending out of fear. We're not defined by anything except this moment. We still have 100% response-ability for what we choose to be the defining elements of ourselves, always. So we're not going to explain, we're not going to complain, because there are no excuses. There's just what we're doing or what we're not doing. And the last thing, the sixth thing on this list is, remember that improv, as I say in Spontaneous Brilliance, improv is learned present moment thinking. And we want to be present in every moment of this 24/7 improv. We are always in an improv. We are always in a present moment, a valuable moment. Every moment is as valuable as every other moment. There is only now. When we are in the future or in the past, that's when we get into pain. Thoughts about the past and thoughts about the future. What's really true? What's true about me is what is here right now. So when we get out of alignment and we feel out of alignment, one of the ways to get back into alignment is to just notice now. What's true right now? As much as I talk about not putting our attention on the future or the past, it's impossible not to ever think of those things. Of course, we're going to think of those things. And some of those things in the past are very treasured memories. And some of those things in the future are very treasured desires. Great. Yes. And we use our imagination all the time to either relive them or future live them. All good things, all beautiful, that's fine. But when we are out of alignment and we are feeling out of alignment and the future or the past is causing us pain, that's not helping. So how do we realign when our thoughts are out of the present moment and they are not helping us better this present moment? So that's when we just look at what is true right now, not forward or backward, what's true in this moment. Okay, I'm here in this moment. What are the things that feel good in this moment? And sometimes, I grant you, there are some moments where it's hard to figure out what feels good. But look until you find it. Get curious. Remember, it's fun if you get curious. Okay, that's where you will start to find it. Get grateful. What do you have? Okay, I've got hot tea right now, or I've got fresh water right now, or I've got my favorite shirt on, or whatever it is. What is a thing that you can attach to, that you can find that gratitude moment for, that will bring us to right now? What am I grateful for right now? What is true right now? What is happening right now that I can be grateful for? What do I have? What do I see? It's not our job to figure out how to fix it all right now. It is our job to bring ourselves into alignment with the truth of what we love. That's how we know if it's true. And your love and my love are not the same thing. I'm assuming that they feel similar within us. But what I love and what you love, you haven't had my life experience. I haven't had your life experience. And there's a reason for that. Each of our souls chose to experience what they are experiencing. Your truth is your truth. When we know that something feels bad, that means it's not true for us in that moment. And so if somebody is teaching you something or telling you something or living in a way right in front of you that does not align with you, it will feel bad. Sometimes it's hard to be calm with that and trust ourselves and step away from that, because we're afraid that if we step away from something that somebody else is shouting from the mountaintops or lots of people agree with, we're afraid that if it's not in alignment with us and we trust ourselves, then maybe we're afraid we're not going to be liked, or we're not going to be safe, or we're not going to be whole. But then it's a time to just gently look at, what am I afraid of, right? And go back to that thing I said earlier, that when we are afraid, then look for the fun, look for the gratitude. If we're in dread, look for the desire. What is it that can move us forward to seeking an answer or a truth? What is it that we are sticking to that truth for? If that truth is making us feel bad, and truth is in quotation marks a lot of the time here in this discussion, guys, if that truth is making us feel bad, then it's not our truth. If something doesn't feel good, it's not your truth right now. It might have been your truth in the past. That truth of a relationship that you're in that doesn't feel good anymore, a lot of times we stick in relationships when they are not in alignment with us. You know, we've grown, the other people have grown, and we've moved apart, and yet we cling to that because of habit or whatever, or we're afraid to be without that. But we can always check in and just see, am I here out of fear or am I here out of love? I'm not saying we're never here out of love with a person that drives us nuts. I love dearly and would not spend a voluntary moment away from lots of people who make me nuts a lot of the time, you know? Love them, love them, love them. They make me nuts. That means they are part of my truth. I want that, right? I desire that. They are not in my life because I'm afraid not to have them in my life. But there are people, And I have done this at times in my life where I have kept people in my life because I was afraid of what it would mean if they weren't there, afraid of what it would mean financially, or afraid of what it would mean about me if I said, you know what, enough already, or I was afraid they would be my last friend, maybe. I don't know, whatever I was afraid of at the time. And so if it's out of fear, it's not in alignment. If it's out of love, it is in alignment with your truth. If a person feels bad, again, if they feel bad about something, it's not my responsibility to make them feel better. That's their responsibility. It is my responsibility to adjust or shift, grow, learn, whatever, realize what I really want, realize how I really want to show up in this circumstance, but it's not my responsibility to fix their life. Think about it. You would not want somebody else in control of whether or not you feel good or bad. So don't place yourself in an attempted control of whether or not somebody else feels good or bad, because then you're actually intercepting their ability to find their own truth. You're interrupting it. Sometimes when we think we're helping or we think we're protecting, we're not. We're infusing, imposing our truth on someone else. And just as this is about finding your truth inside and not finding your truth from something exterior, don't be the exterior that's imposing their truth on someone else either. You're not reliant on other people changing in order for you to be happy or find your truth. When you're not reliant on them, when you realize that it's all up to you, that your success, your power lies within your choices, or as Stella Adler said about acting, your talent lies within your choice. As players on the great stage of life, our power lies within our choice. It's all your decision, how you show up, how you want to be, how you need to learn, grow, adjust, how you choose to adjust or shift or explore a circumstance. So remember and never forget, it's all about being present right now. It's about your approach to this moment. It's about how you're going to create your reality. There are always going to be moments where you're not feeling good. That's the clue that you're off. That's the clue that you are not in alignment with your truth, your true self, your soulful self. So take this moment from wherever you are. And by this moment, I mean any moment. Take every moment from where you are. Focus on what you want to increase. Do I want to feel better right now? Do I want to feel X, Y, or Z right now? How do I adjust? How do I shift? How do I learn? How do I grow? How do I move? How do I take action? How do I offer into this moment to shift, to adjust if I'm off? How do I be in authentic alignment with myself? I notice what I'm feeling. I notice what I'm truly thinking. I actually perform in an honest space. I'm looking for the truth within. I'm checking to see how I feel about the answer, the knowledge, the understanding, the truth that is before me. I find the love. I embrace the obstacles. I know that everything is happening for me, not to me. I behave as if, in other words, I behave authentically within these circumstances. I behave as if the truth that I want to know is true. So once I've decided what my truth is, I behave in alignment with that and I don't get drug off it. I never explain or complain, right? That's what we're not going to do. We're not going to explain or complain. We're determining us. There are no excuses. If someone else, quote, does something that makes us angry, that's on us. The anger comes from us. It doesn't come from them. And remember, improv is learned present moment thinking. There is only now. So we're not in the future. We're not in the past. We are in the now, in gratitude, noticing what we're noticing, taking it from where we are, being honest with ourselves in this present moment. Remember, I heard someone say recently, permission is empowerment. Give yourself permission to feel, to be, to do, to share, to act, as you choose in alignment with your truth. All right, my dears, that's the nugget for today. And I would love, as always, for any of you that want to come and talk to me about this to come on the podcast with me, and we'll do a Q&A about recognizing your truth or anything else you want to talk about. And if you don't want to come on, but you just want to send me questions, just send them to podcast@spontaneousbrilliance.com, and Shelley will bring those to me. All right, my dears, I thank you so much for being here. And as always, have a beautiful, glorious, blessing-filled day. The Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast is brought to you by Miracle Communications Group. Our producer is Michelle Oneida. Sound engineer is Corey Michaels at Corey Michaels Productions. Music is composed by Rex Miller. And I'm your host, Sandra Kavanaugh. You can learn more about me and all things Spontaneous Brilliance at sandrakavanaugh.com or spontaneousbrilliance.com. And please join the conversation here at the Spontaneous Brilliance Podcast by emailing us at podcast@spontaneousbrilliance.com.